What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be going over how I think the Flash can get faster in Season 8. Now, this is more of a question or theory, I should say, before the Flash Season 7 aired because, well, Barry was losing his speed, and some people were theorizing that Barry may not just get his speed back from the artificial Speed Force, he might get even faster, even obtain new powers. And I guess technically Barry kind of did get faster because if you guys remember in episode 11, the final battle versus the Speed Force, after the Speed Force, well, turned back to good, all the forces combined and gave Barry a speed boost, which is actually a pretty cool scene. So yeah, that is definitely one part of him getting faster. And then in episode 18 or 17, I believe it was one of those two episodes of season 7, the Speed Force Nora, I should say, returned and gave all the speedsters a speed boost. So we now know that the Speed Force obviously has the capability to give Barry and all the other speedsters speed boosts. And yeah, about Barry, getting new powers in Season 7, he did end up getting new powers. He had that speed thinking ability, which is pretty cool. But anyways, now on to how exactly he might get faster in Season 8. Now, the first thing I want to go over is, of course, the Speed Force. I'm definitely thinking that the Speed Force is going to have something to do with this. Maybe there's going to be like another Speed Force type of storyline. I think that would be pretty interesting to see. And what exactly I think could happen with the Speed Force storyline in Season 8 is maybe Barry actually like goes into the Speed Force again. I think that would be awesome to see, just like he did in Season 2 and Season 3. Barry would go into the Speed Force and then the Speed Force would talk to him in forms of a bunch of different people. I really don't like the fact that they say now Nora is the Speed Force. I think that doesn't make any sense. So I think maybe if Barry goes into the Speed Force in Season 8 and then, somehow gets a speed boost from that, I think that would definitely make sense. Because if you guys remember at the end of Season 3 when Barry went into the Speed Force, he came out obviously in Season 4 and he was a lot faster than he was before. Now, this next theory is kind of interesting, but it's also like very unlikely. And what I think this could be is if they end up doing Red Death, and if Barry, like literally Barry, actually ends up combining with somebody to create Red Death, I think, maybe that could definitely make Barry a lot faster. Even though, technically, I guess he would sort of be a villain. I don't know if that exactly would work for the show, but I think, it's just an idea to throw out there. And this next theory, I think, is actually pretty likely to happen. Well, I guess, depending on how much Reverse Flash ends up showing up in the season. So basically, in the comics, Barry actually created the Speed Force when he got struck by lightning. And Reverse Flash obviously created the negative Speed Force. Now, the Barry is basically the Speed Force's engine in the comics. So every step Barry runs, he generates more Speed Force. Every step Thawne runs, he generates more negative Speed Force. So they're kind of like pulling at each other. So I think maybe Barry could like sort of somehow obtain speed from the negative Speed Force and apply it to the normal Speed Force to boost himself and make him go faster. I think that's definitely a possibility and something that would be pretty comic book accurate and pretty cool to see on the show as well. Now, of course, there is a possibility of, Barry having to give himself Velocity X for some reason, but I really don't think that's extremely likely to happen, just for the fact that, this season, Eric Wallace, the showrunner for The Flash, did say that Barry is supposed to really, go in tune with the Speed Force and just be like a super smart and really just heroic speedster, just a great hero in this season, just like he was in the comics. He's so powerful in the comics. We saw how much faster he really got when he faced Thawne in the final episode of Season 7. And then something else that could happen, if Barry really needs to get faster, he could use tachyons. Now, if you guys remember, Reverse Flash used tachyons to try and get faster. And then Barry, in Season 7, he did use the tachyon, like, enhancer type thing, but he didn't use it to make himself faster. He used it for, like, particles to get from Mirror Monarch, aka Eva McCulloch. So, it's a little bit of a different use, but I'm sort of thinking that, they could still use it for speed purposes, and I think that'd be pretty interesting to see in The Flash Season 8. And just a quick interesting fact that I found out, apparently, in the Flash Season 7, Barry's top speed was about 8.3 million miles per hour, which is actually crazy, compared to Season 1 when he was going 1,500 miles an hour. So it's crazier to think that the Flash can get even faster than 8.3 million miles per hour. So yeah, it should be pretty cool to see exactly how that happens. And something else that I'd actually kind of like to see them implement into the show is something from the Flashpoint Paradox comic book, or if you've guys seen the animated film. So basically, in Flashpoint, Barry of course saves his mother and wakes up in an alternate timeline. Now, basically, in order to reset that timeline, he needs to get rid of Reverse Flash because Reverse Flash is taking up too much of the Speed Force with his negative Speed Force. So eventually, Thomas Wayne, aka Flashpoint's Batman, ends up killing the Reverse Flash, so then there's enough Speed Force for Barry to use in order to get back to, when he originally saved his mother and, to stop that all from happening. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they did something like that, just more of that Reverse Flash and Flash conflict. I think that'd be really, really cool to see. And speaking of Flashpoint, just a quick little side note. I think, I think another Flashpoint happening is, I guess, still possible. I think that'd be pretty interesting to see as well. Maybe Barry ends up, at the end of the show, maybe he actually ends up saving his mom. I think that would be a pretty interesting end to the show. And then another Flashpoint could happen or something like that. And then it might be like an even more accurate Flashpoint than the one we got in Season 3. So I think that'd be pretty cool to see, to be honest. Comment your guys' thoughts down below on all that. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys comment your thoughts on this video down below. And as I said before, comment, how you guys think the Flash could end up getting faster. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.